Hello YouTube, this is an update on pictures from Neumayer Station, Antarctica. These pictures are from the 27th of November 2012 and we've had a nice clear day, all day on the 27th. I'm probably getting a bit bored with doing these videos from Neumayer Station because I think we've well and truly debunked the Nibiru images, or what's supposed to be Nibiru. But there's some interesting things that we see in the pictures from the 27th, so let's take a look. This is 0000 hours on the 27th, 11th, 2012 from Neumayer Station. I'm just going to step through these pictures and see what we can find. Okay, once again we've got the Nibiru lens flare appearing in front of the building. This is the same flare which we're actually going to see a little bit later on as well, which normally appears over this side and people have been claiming is Nibiru. As we'll see as we step through, that sphere sort of moves along. Notice that the bright side, or the apparently lit side, is on the left hand side of the sphere, even though the sun is actually coming up over on this side. If this sphere was a real object, and obviously we can see that it isn't because it's between the building and the camera, but if it was a real object in the sky, then obviously the sunlit side would be on the same side as the sun, not on the opposite side. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's keep going, and there's our sphere. Looks just like the ones we've seen before. Here are a couple of more lens flares we see. By the way, all of this machinery arrived just a few days earlier. There was a supply ship that came through and delivered all of this equipment and other supplies for the year. Okay, let's keep going. Here comes the sun on the right hand side, and here's the black spot, the famous black spot that some people have been claiming is Nibiru, or one of Nibiru's moons, or a moon of Nemesis, or one of Nibiru's planets. All sorts of things they claim. In fact, all this is the sun and the sensor in the camera. It's a CMOS sensor, and when there is light that is too intense for the camera to handle, it overloads the sensor and produces a black, or sometimes a purple black spot. The spot that we see here is actually about the size of the disk of the sun. If you were to remove all of the glare of the sun, then this is about what you would see. Say if you were looking through a solar filter or a welding lens, then that is about the size of the sun that you'd see. Of course, the sun is the same width in the sky as the moon. Obviously the sun is considerably bigger than the moon. In fact, it's about 400 times the diameter of the moon, but because the moon is 400 times closer, they appear to be about the same size, and that's why during an eclipse, when the moon passes in front of the sun, it blocks out the disk of the sun. But anyway, I'll just digress for a minute while we're talking about the black spot on the sun, and I'm going to show you some other pictures that show good examples of black spot images. Okay, in this one here we can see the sun is reflected in a window of the building there, and we've got a nice black spot there. Well, some might say, well, yes, that's Nibiru being reflected in the window. Well, let's have a look at some other pictures. Here are some, I think these are probably spotlights or something, I'm not really sure. This is from some video from a 60 Minutes documentary, apparently, and we can see a black spot there. Here are some street lights, and again they were bright enough to produce these black spots on these lights, not only the white ones, the red ones as well. Here are some Christmas lights, and again we can see the black spots, again overloading the sensor in the camera. And here comes some really interesting ones. We've got a black spot in front of the sun, which is what we normally see in the Neumayer pictures, but here we've also got a black spot from somebody using a flash on their camera. and a couple more. Here's a black spot in front of a spotlight, stage light at a concert. Here's another one, same thing, black spot. And here's the front page of the manual for the VORTEX cameras, which are used at Neumayer Station and elsewhere. I'll just zoom this in so we can get a closer look. And one of the sample images that they've used on the front page of the manual, what do we see? There's a picture of the sun with a black spot in front of it. And I think it was Fog Haze that did an excellent video on this, and she pointed out that you know, if there was something really strange that shouldn't be there, I don't think that VORTEX would be presenting this on the front page of their manual. Okay, so let's go back to our Neumayer pictures. So there's a black spot in front of the sun again, which is in fact the sun. So we'll carry on and step through. Here come our red and blue Kachina on the left hand side here in the sky. As we step through, we find that they actually come down and end up on the ground. So here's our red and blue Kachinas on the ground. So much for that. We've still got our black spot in the sky. And now about here, as the sun is exiting, we're going to see our good old, here it comes, our good old Nibiru lens flare appearing again. I can see it just coming into view. And as the sun exits out of view of the camera, we can see there it is again, just like we saw earlier on. It's no different. Only thing is, now it's got nothing between or nothing behind it, so that we can look through it and see that it's actually just a lens flare. Of course, when we were looking at it over here, we could see the building behind it. We could see through the lens flare to the building. Okay, what else have we got? An interesting thing happens as the sun comes around. The sun is coming around behind us soon, so I just step through. You can see the lighting changing on the building there, and we'll see a shadow from the radome coming around shortly. Here it is on the bottom of the screen here. It's just in your view. That's the shadow that's cast by the radome that the Neumayer webcam is mounted on. So as the sun is coming around the sky behind us, then the shadow is moving around. An interesting thing is going to happen soon as we look at the machinery here that's all lined up, parked in front of the Neumayer station, with the glass windows and reflective surfaces on these snowplows and machines. We're going to see an interesting thing. Just stepping through. Okay, here we go. I'll just step back again. Watching this one here to start with, as I step through, you can see that the sunlight is reflecting on the glass. Now you see we've got that black spot again, and in fact we've even got a bit of reflection off that back onto the camera. So we've got the sun is behind us, and it's sort of coming across this way. It's reflecting back to the camera, and it's also causing this this lens flare here with another little mini red and blue Kachina. Let's carry on, and as the sun comes round, we're actually going to see more of this reflection. We can see a little bit of it there, and you see that as we step along. It's sort of stepped along. I'll come back again. I'll actually go right back and zoom this up so you can get a better view. Okay, so as the sun just coming in on this one here, there it is, nice big black overload, sensor overload there, which normally produces a black spot. We'll step along. Here comes the sun on the other ones. There's a little bit of a spot there, and there, and there. So there we go. What else have we got? So I think that pretty much sums it up. Let me zoom that back out so I've got the time. There we go. Just coming up to midnight again at Neumayer, 23:50, and looks like the weather was packing in there, but all in all it was a good 24 hours. We had plenty to look at there, and plenty of stuff to debunk. Let's go back and find that lens flare again finally, just for another quick look. That's my favourite one. That's a wind turbine there, by the way, in case you're wondering what that thing is turning around for power generation. And there's our Nibiru sphere, and I'm going to go right back. There's our sun with the spot. Going to go right back to where, there it is again. There's our Nibiru sphere. So hopefully I'm not going to have to do any more of these Neumayer Station videos. They're getting a bit old hat now. It's getting a bit boring. I think we've well and truly debunked this lens flare. It's not Nibiru. It's just a lens flare. Always has been. Always will be. But if there's anything particularly interesting that comes up from Neumayer Station, I will post another video. So thank you for watching. It's been a longer video, so thank you if you hung in there to the end. And as always, check out my Facebook discussion page, Voices of Reason to Explain X, or VORTEX. I'll put a link for you in the discussion in the description area. Thank you for watching.